In every social movement, there emerges strong leaders, people that set the pace. In today's chapter, we would like to share with you the life of a People First of SLO member who truly does set the pace. Meet our friend, Warren Mattingly.
Hi, guys.
This is the Barefoot theme song.
You're mine. It's some brushing, it dips and paints the way you feel. From abstract to surreal. So take your time to decide what things you want to make real. But don't get hung up on the surface appeal.
You remember Warren, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, what can you tell me about Warren?
he was a kind man.
Well, Warren was a great advocate in that he would look at the system and he would figure out ways to get what he needed within the system. And he was one of the most assertive advocates that I've seen. And to me, that was a huge role model for everybody else. Because one of the things that we all learn as we grow older is we've got to be more assertive to get what we need. And Warren was very assertive, and people learn, hey, if you speak up and you ask for things that you need and then get kind of creative on how you meet those needs, you really can open up a lot of doors for yourself. And that's what I saw in Warren, and that lives on beyond Warren in all the people that he was a tremendous example of how you can get what you need in your life.
I have never met a man who was so determined to do something once he got it in his head. That was the way it was going to be. That was all there was to it.
Warren, probably one of the most committed people I've ever known, and a very gifted person in his many, many ways.
Warren, they had been waiting to testify for hours, several hours, and everybody else wanted to go home. Was at a point where they wanted to say, "Oh, forget it." And Warren said, "Wait a minute. We didn't come all the way up here not to do what not to do what we were supposed to do." And he said, "I'm not moving." And he meant it too. And so everybody stayed, but he was not gonna bolt or move.
He went forward and he did it, and he was extremely committed to the idea of self-advocacy. And he would put up with a lot to back that up. A lot, I think, more physical discomfort than I could probably ever imagine, or most of us without disabilities could probably ever imagine. Warren would put up with to be in Sacramento and to wait and wait and wait and finally get into a hot, stifling, airless committee room and wait and wait and wait again to get up there in front of the legislators and talk about whatever he felt was important for people with disabilities all over California.
Warren was one of those bigger than life kind of characters, especially in fact that he was a big guy in a big chair. And so he had, despite his physical limitations, he had kind of a robust love for life, and it was evident when you were around him, his sense of humor, his sense of sarcasm, and his ability to see the absurd, but yet try and turn that to the positive and make something positive out of it. So as we would have field trips or those kinds of activities where the logistics of getting everybody in vans, getting everybody tied down, you're in the back of a van, it's 90 degrees because you can't turn the AC on until you get the van closed up. So you're in a van that's kind of like a little solar oven. You got to wait for other people to be tied down. For a lot of people, I think that would exhaust their patience. For Warren, it was just kind of life, and he would make the best of it, and his attitude would make it easier for others.
Yeah, and well, right on the cusp of the 80s, basically 79 or 80. So they started having meetings at Achievement House, and they chose a spokesperson who was Lenny, who became one of the a representative of the employees to the board of directors at Achievement House. Very soon after that, Warren Mattingly, who was a really strong advocate for a really long time, joined out there. He actually came out to Achievement House and became really involved in self-advocacy and did a lot of, in addition to that, assumed a peer counseling role with people who were having experiences that they needed a peer to talk to. And in a sense, he developed, I think Warren did, a lot of people's individual self-advocacy skills, whereby they were able to advocate for themselves through thinking and learning how to express themselves verbally.
Warren lived his life on his own terms, and we would like to hear his story in his own words.
Hi, my name is Warren Mattingly. I'm originally from Washington, D.C. I lived with my parents in a house in Rockville, Maryland. My parents never really sheltered me. They let me experience life the way life should be experienced. Mom was one of these moms that never said no. Mom would give me anything that I wanted, and I had actually a very loving family and a very close family, and I had all four of my grandparents till late in life too, so I actually got to know everybody and experience things that some people don't with their families. But I was never put in a closet and forgotten about. I was really, we had a deep love as a family, and we did things together. We went on trips, and we drove in the car together. My brother was a golfer when he was a kid, and my mom used to roll me around in the wagon so she could watch him play golf. I was also the Easter Seal child when I was 7 years old, so I got to meet Mamie Eisenhower and all those dignified people in those days. So I had a really blessed childhood. That's why I think I'm so good now, because I've had the experiences then, so I know what to do. I learned early to advocate for myself too, because mom really didn't teach me. Mom made me learn on my own. Mom had me out there doing things, really just. And the same thing with Dad.
After the death of his parents, Warren and his brother moved to California. Warren made it his permanent home and became deeply involved in self-advocacy.
Very strong group began developing in the Leap One program because we had some very, very strong people there. Warren was there at that point in time. He was spending his days there, and he was involved in many, many other aspects of self-advocacy. He was a representative on several boards. He was a representative to the ARCA, the Regional Center Association. He went to People First of California as a delegate.
Warren had his opinions, didn't always agree with his opinions. Warren made his own life decisions, didn't always agree with Warren's life decisions. But we always supported Warren, and Warren was always gracious, admitted when he, made a mistake, or admitted when he thought he might be walking into something that he was over his head, but he was brave and wanted to do it and was willing to take risks to find out if it would work. And so those were the things that I probably admired most, were really that even he was willing to walk into the unknown, knowing that there were risks involved, and also trusting that there were going to be people, that he had a strong support team, and that if things didn't work out, we would welcome him back.
Yeah, but it'll pick back up again.
Yeah.
We're gonna get our second win, guys.
He was larger than life. He lived the way he wanted to live, and he never apologized for it.
Warren was a good friend. He was always joking and always funny and always kind, and there's nothing he wouldn't do for anybody.
That man was incredible. He didn't do anything halfway. Not anything. And I just miss him so much.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's been fun.
First things first, for better or worse, we're gonna dance on each bridge, chorus and verse. We're so happy you found us and want to be around us. Welcome to this life of ours. You're gonna get
Music for today's episode is brought to you by our very own Bentley Murdoch. If you'd like to learn more, please visit us at peoplefirstslo.org.